You can start now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeView Markets. It's Friday, October 29th. It's the last day of the month. They didn't want to sell them off. A little after 11 o'clock Eastern, by the way. We're trying to get better. We're trying to get there at 11. Once again, if I don't get on at 11, I apologize. It's really down to work issues. It's just trying to bring you a better product. Something's moving. So let's get down to it. Okay, here's the TradeView Markets website. I sign in just like everybody else. This is what I do when I sign in TradeGate Hub in the morning. Same process as everybody else. So there's no real excuse on how not to get on once you're in. Good morning, everyone. Okay, starting on Monday, I told you I always put out the most amount of data. And I try not to inundate you with a lot of data. As I always say, it's about quality and not quantity. I don't want to inundate everybody. I don't like when there's complicated menus when I go to restaurants. I'm approaching 50 years old, and it's not because it's easier. I don't necessarily take the easier way out. It's not the way I'm looking for it. It's just less is better. I've been noticing when it comes to any type of process. I used to have 8 screens. Now I have 4. You know what I mean? I used to follow 200 people. Now I follow maybe 60. Trust me, once you get the process in place, people start following you, and that's what the ultimate goal is. Okay. So once again, the data that I put out Monday morning really tries and it really trickles throughout the week. If we start off at a certain indicator, for example, if we start off, say this is Monday right here, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we sell off. Obviously, well, I do post this every day. You know that we would be somewhat in the oversold territory. So come Monday morning, try to start the process. That I've noticed that the number one thing that why business succeed is consistency. And I definitely try to be consistent, even in the order in which I put the data. So I want everybody to realize that. So we get them the process, and then we get ready to fire. Is this today? 4 hours. Okay. Good morning. Always listen to Mike Santoli. This is tactical sentiment. Coming into the Apple and Amazon numbers, and especially I'll get to the charts in a second where we were. This was the perfect. Maybe. Well, there were 2 reasons. People wanted the markets, the S&P until at least a couple of days ago, if not now, was making new highs. And as I said before, it's very important the timing. Timing is very important in this business. But this being the end of the month, a lot of fund managers, and it is relevant, don't get me wrong, wanted to be involved and wanted to have some stock on the books. It's why we're actually buoyed a little bit here in the indexes. If you would have told me Apple being down a couple of percent, Amazon being down $1.40, and this is what I did say. I will say this, going into the main room, that I said this 2 days ago. I'll leave this. For now, companies reporting blowout numbers are not up a lot as they should be in a different market. Microsoft, AMD, Twitter, Coke, General Motors, stocks that normally, and listen, it's yet to be determined if there's profit taking or if it's rolling over, or we're not going to call it top. The seasonality apparently ended. There's more money on the sidelines than ever, as evident in rotation even today. So let's look like I want to look at, this is what I posted this morning. Look at the loser board. Okay. You're starting to have big cap stocks with volume. Twilo's a major company. Futu's a major company. Four's a big company. LABD. It was just the opposite of Lebu. PTLO, eBay, Newmont, Baxter, Tempur Posturepedic, MQ has been hot. Boyd Gaming. So you're having stocks that are down, between 20 and 5% in various sectors, not reacting well to news. On the flip side, you're still LC is a different story, as I said before. LC, AFRM, these payment providers are the one stock. I mean, they're the new fangs, if you will. I've said it all week. Overstock's a one-day wonder. Although it was up a couple today. I don't have any faith in it. DWAC, I'm short. Actually, I bought a couple of puts. So this is an indication right here of if this just flashed up, And you said, Mike V, guess what the market is doing? I guess the market would be down, down nicely. And, that's an indication how things may be turning. Obviously, these are the stocks that are above the moving averages. AUPH is a takeover, LC, Tesla. The market's watching Tesla right now. The market's watching Apple, and the market's watching Amazon. So, and Google had a nice number too. I'm running before I'm walking. Let's go back to the process, or else I'd be a hypocrite then. Yesterday was the gamma squeeze. Everybody thought that, let me go through the chart. Friday is usually the auction gamma squeeze. If you don't know what it is, look it up. You should know it by now. This was yesterday. They did it. See, this is the volume. They did it a day before. This was yesterday on the gamma squeeze. And this was the key, that this was yesterday and the day before. And that was the gamma squeeze. They took it off. So, if it was not for the end of the month, I believe we would be down more because of how they ran the options yesterday into the numbers, even why Apple and Amazon are down today. Okay, this is where we're coming in today right here. Where's the market as we speak? The market's, the Indu's up 55, the NASDAQ's down 3. That's incredible. Here's my universe every day. LC, the hottest stocks, batteries, QS. Oh, am I sharing my screen? No. Here's my screen. Tesla, battery makers, LCID is the hottest stock on the board, LAC, QS, energy, plug, Fizzler making new highs, EMPH no stop, BROS. It's position in the account. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do today, going for the rest of the day. Okay, you should have read this already, by the way. Everybody's levered long. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to start fading the market maybe after lunch a little bit harder if I am. Read the gamma note on the gamma squeeze, if you will. Bull and bearish, extreme bull. They pull back a little bit. Long term, fine. Weekly equity flows, put call ratio. Everybody's complacent. Sector sentiment. Yesterday, everything was cooked. Basic materials overbought. Financials overbought. Semis overbought. Tech is overbought. Utilities overbought. Oil producers, natural pullback. Retail, industrials overbought. Energy still overbought, pulling back. Consumer discretionary, do your due diligence. So even a day like today, where we have some stocks in the market that are up, I would expect some profit taking. And by the way, there's Chewy. Somebody asked me why Chewy was up, and that's because Amazon was now, they're not in the competition anymore, or at least for the time being. Okay. NASDAQ future sentiment. Here we are coming into today. Where's the NAS? The NAS, QQQs. Okay, so you know what? The relative strength held up a little bit, or held off. We're about right here. Equity, that says it all right there by Miss Lean. Pre-market movers. Chevron had a reversal to the downside. Watch that. FUTU, Apple. It told you the story right there. Okay. What did I post in the main room? I posted a couple of trades this morning in the main room. I try to do both. But anyway, the data I'm giving you, there was the chart on the future. It was still overbought a little bit. That was the level. Upgrades and downgrades, Walter Bloomberg. Now, if I'm using Walter Bloomberg for upgrades and downgrades, maybe I also use them, which I do for other things. So why not go and follow Walter Bloomberg like I do? Why not? The 400,000 people do, and the majority of guys that I follow them as well. ARK Invest, I post this every day. This everybody sees what Kathy Wood is doing. TDOC. Did that follow through? Nope. It might have a day delay. We'll see. Scanners, daily velocity scans, a couple of them. HUDI hot. PI was hot. Did PI follow through? PI. All these stocks that are right here probably have a day of rest and have a continuation. But get familiar with the list. Gap up, gap down. Plug remains. I am long runner in BDLP. Run. Doing nicely for the family. A little pullback. That's okay. No problem. Yesterday's move with volumes. And it continues. What else is going on here? My Twitter feed. Sweeps in QS this morning. That's the battery maker. Where's QS? Here's QS right here. Oh, the stock is killing me. What's wrong with this freaking stock? VLCN. Anyway. CPOP has sold some of this, thank God. 385. I'm getting distracted. Anyway. Let's look at what's moving now. Listen, this is a FOMO market. Like I said, there's no middle class. You're either having the leaders move or low floaters. Nobody hasn't interested in Coke, or nobody's saying anything about financials or anything like that. It's trade the low floaters, trade your style, or add to your big cap winners and let them go. So here's the top list for today. What's near the high and what has volume? What's a good volume near the high right here? eBay. QS, the battery maker, we said at Amazon's actually was down. I think the low was 160. Watch how that closes. That's a gauge of the market. US Steel had numbers. CUAH followed through. What has, let's look at my sexy page for lack of a better term. QS all over the board. Battery maker array. So when I see QS, this is what I do. I know innately what other battery makers there are. I look at this Romeo Power, which I saw today was down. I think it was down 13 cents, and they still don't want a part of it. I mean, if this had any volume, I'd buy 20,000, but they want this for some reason, just because it's heavily shorted. QS. But LAC, what's the best of breed doing? Los Angeles Clippers. Making new highs. All you got to do here, battery makers, easy trade. I don't want to sound obnoxious. That's an easy trade. 3-day consolidation out of a flag. Everybody knows that the battery makers are hot. Look what Tesla's doing. That's a winner. What about lithium? That doing anything? Same thing. What about SLI? Kramer's baby. Took a pullback today, but that's because Kramer's everybody. Too many people are in the pool. So when I see QS, going back to this, I look at what else is going. What else do we have here? UAVS. No good. HUDI. That was yesterday. eBay's on the high. eBay, Cree, Amazon. This is what I added new. Volume in the last 10 minutes. Where's the volume percentage of the last 10 minutes? It's QS. QS is going. Lithium. See, I didn't know that. SPWR, LAC. So it's still the battery makers. Lending clubs in the middle. What's weak? What's weak in the last 10 minutes? Was the market's going up? What's weak? Zendesk. I bought that on the open. I'll tell you why I bought Zendesk on the open. It was a dumpster dive stab. So I'm looking at Zendesk. It's corrected. Then I go to the weekly. I was saying, here's the 200-day weekly on Zendesk, which was about 90 and a half. That's the weekly, by the way. If you see that bright green right here, that's the weekly. So I'm saying, all right, Zendesk, the weekly, 288.70. So I gave it 89 and a half. That was my first bid. Then I went to the daily. Then I went to the monthly. I only threw 800 shares out there. So 94. So I wound up buying it. I got frustrated. I think I bought it at 92. This today. 92.10. I sold it. I had an offer at 90. I had 800 shares, something small. That was a decent play for me. Zendesk. What else is moving? Notifications, Twitter feed. Let's look at here what's moving now. A lot of calls are going off on these small things. IDEX, the wannabe Teslas. I bought UXIN. I think I'm on 20 at 30,000. I am. I'm on 24,000. I hope it was a dumpster dive. We'll see what happens. Somebody emailed me this thing, DTC. That's an IPO though. DTC going. Let's look at 3 days, 1 week. No interest. What again are we on here? Twitter feed. Oh, so let's go to questions. So people are supposed to ask questions there, aren't they? No questions? I'll win the $10 then. Into my V. All right. I'll answer my own question. Let me go back to TradeGate up here. Let's go what's moving. I don't know what I'm going to do to the close. I'm usually a lot more animated. QSX, IO, and Q. I didn't have this. They was giving it to me early. I didn't look at it. Well, like I said, everything on here, instead of them giving trades, is everything that is look at Lucid. Everything is on there. Lucid's going down hard. Lucid. Look at this stock. I wasn't, you know what? I didn't play it. I didn't play it. I don't know what I would do here. It's holding. But the juice is out of the punch bowl. Anything from here is a day trade. You know, it's in the gap now. I don't want to draw all the lines, but it's made the move. That's why it's in a range today from 38 to 36, as opposed to yesterday was 38 to 40, 28 to 40, $12 range yesterday. So going back into this afternoon, I'm going to have, listen, like I said, I'm not as animated as I used to be, but I'll tell you, this is what, when I get back from lunch, I'll go here. I'll go to my top list. I'll say what's acting good with range and volume. What's near the high, like here. QS, oh man, they're killing it. They're running it. Zendesk near the low. What's near the low? Because that's what, listen, when the market's up this high, you want to be probably like Tim Fury thing, snap, shorting red. Oils pull back, GLOB, Alcoa. No, but enough, listen, the weak stocks do not have volume. The strong stocks on the high do. They have 20%, 120%, 300%. So that gives you a gauge of what's going on. Hi, Mike. We're starting the contest on Monday. Okay. I got you, Rich. Thanks, Rich. I'm still getting the $10 though. Thanks. I'm still taking the first 10. Okay. So I'll take what's acting bet DTC. You just told me about that right there. IO and Q. So I take the top 5 and I take the bottom 10. You know, maybe predicated upon the market, what has range and what's moving. I see that some of these EV stocks are pulling back a little bit. AYRO, VRAR. You know what? It's a little skittish, a little fear of missing out, if you will. So let me get back together, a better plan. Ford was a follow through. Is that up again? Oh, Ford. Look at, okay. This is what I'm looking at when I complain. Ford making a move from 1650 to 1720. And you know what? A perfect buy in the gap, the flag. You can't catch everything. That was the place to stake a stab. That's why it's moving. What else is moving? Thank you, Rich. I don't even know what screen I'm sharing there. Okay, I'm screening that sheet. Oh yeah, so I'm seeing Ford move. Let me go back to the list. So I'll take my top and my bottom. So what has volume in the last 10 minutes? I'll see that. It should be Ford, but if Ford's not moving on that much volume, then I'm not interested. Weemy. QS still going. CPOP, I'm in it. Before I was on here, I sold some at 372, thank God. Good trade. I had a lot of FUTU breaking low. All right, so I'll be back around 1:30 Eastern. And I'll have a plan for the weekend. Ford turning a DV. Yes, it is, Rich. Thanks, Rich. Yes, it is. Mike, I wired $10. Coach, that's okay. If I get $10 from everybody, it's 100. It's like Amway. Anyway, but have a good weekend, everyone. Have a plan. For those don't, be ready with the questions. There is no big question because it's basically a question's a plan, and going off that, you at least have a frame of reference or an answer. So that's what we're going to do on Monday. CVS breaking high too. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Thanks again.